Okay. I don't know whether we have become comfortable with kidnapping in Nigeria. I really don't know whether we are now comfortable with kidnapping in Nigeria. Because honestly, the rate at which people are being kidnapped on a daily basis in Nigeria is beginning to call for concern. Even though the government of the day don't find it necessary that a state of emergency should be established in the case of kidnapping. Imagine a story like this. A young man and his wife and 2 kids retired to bed. And they had their night devotion and everybody retired to bed. Only for someone to tap him to wake up. Opening his eyes, he now saw somebody that is not a member of his family. In fact, a man, for instance, asked him to wake up. He was taken to the parlor where he met his wife and 2 kids. 1 daughter, 1 boy. The boy is 6. The girl is 11. And they are kidnappers. 4 of them in his house. How did they get into his house? That's another question entirely. And they were saying, bring money. But he doesn't have. They flogged him and beat him. He doesn't have money. And they said, okay, you find money for us. You have money. And they were about to take the daughter. And he cried, no, don't take my daughter. Take my son, 6-year-old. And of course, the kidnappers took the 6-year-old and went away with the boy. And they tried and gathered some money. And they released the boy eventually. 6-year-old. Now, because it didn't happen to you, it looks ordinary. It's just another unfortunate victim. It didn't happen to me, so no problem. Life goes on. But imagine the life of a 6-year-old, the trauma, the damage such an event will do to the psyche of that boy. That boy will grow up tomorrow and perhaps will be spiteful of the people, might even decide to hate every people. Now, mind you, the people that came to the house were from a very particular race. I don't want to mention because I should be security conscious myself, but from a particular race. If that boy grows up and starts hating one particular people, tell me how you are going to re-educate that person to love the people from that particular race, having been subjected to such trauma. It's amazing that the people we so much fight for to become our leaders don't experience these tragedies that we, the poor masses, experience every day. Today, particularly in the northern part of Nigeria, kidnapping is more or less like a business, like a way of living. And I strongly think that the people behind it are not the actual kidnappers. Because those kidnapping will not be asking for 600 million, where they themselves, I don't think in their whole lifespan have seen a million naira, but they're asking for 600 million. Certainly, those playing the drums are those in your house of assembly. They are the big boys who know actually the value of 600 million. And what is even so baffling is that these kidnappers now have TikTok handles, now have WhatsApp handles, now have Instagram handles. They are no longer covering their faces. They are now displaying their loot and their weapons on TikTok, on social media handles, telling you, hey, this is me. This is my loot from one of my kidnapping expenditures I explored. And this is my loot. I'm happy. Hey, take pictures of me. And we call this a country. And we don't think that it's time we declare the state of emergency on kidnapping in Nigeria. For those of you who are supporting this administration, and for those of us talking against this administration because we hate it, or because Peter B is not president, or because our person is not the president, therefore we are finding ways to discredit the present administration. That's not true. That's not our intention at all. What has failed has failed. And I don't think the next 3 years or less is going to provide any solution to the country, because you can't give a criminal a place of honesty to rule, because a criminal is always a criminal. One who tells you that the only way to win elections is by grabbing it, snatching it, and running away, and you expect such a person to conduct a free and fair election. It's so funny that it's a sad story of Nigeria and where we find ourselves today. So I'm just going to say, please, if you have a little bit of sense left in you, let's try and make this country work. Even though a lot of Nigerians have given up hope that Nigeria still have a hope, but I still believe our problem is leadership. If we get the right leadership, everything, the animosity, the differences in religions and tribe will be solved. I still believe there's a way. Let's just come together, because at the end of the day, it is we, the people, that will determine whether Nigeria moves forward or backward. I can't say more. My name is Magnus Oraka. Please follow this page and share this post now.